Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to Regional Baseball on Radio Troy Digital Sports. This morning, the Hagerstown Tigers ranked number 1 in 2A, coming in with just one loss on the season. Will take on the Crusaders of Indianapolis Scecina High School. They entered today's contest at 16-13-1. It's going to be a beautiful day. The Tigers hoping that they can advance after a disappointing last year. And, of course, we had the interviews with players and the head coach this week about the last year and what they learned about a year ago, and they're hoping that they can continue a run here today that so far has been a magical season for the Hagerstown Tigers. Cody Swim will be on the mound today for Hagerstown in this opening game. And on the other side of the ledger, we're going to take a look at this Scecina team a little bit closer coming up in just a couple of moments. The Tigers, by the way, are going to be facing a very good pitcher today. We'll talk about him in a little bit as well. Scecina, again, at 16-13-1 on the year. We'll scout the Crusaders coming up in a couple of moments. We'll also come back, give you the starting lineups in just a couple of moments as well. This is Regional Baseball right here on Radio Troy Digital Sports.
It may not require a textbook, but it's filled with valuable lessons. It may not take place in a classroom, but it's an ideal environment for learning. It may not involve a diploma, but it can help prepare Indiana's young people for life. It's high school sports. High school sports can play a critical role in a student's overall education. In fact, studies show that students that participate in high school sports are more likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in their academic lives. If you think high school sports are only about competition, think again. Better yet, think about attending a high school sporting event in your community. You'll be amazed by what you see. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
I loved playing high school sports. I loved the competition, the camaraderie, the bands, the crowds, all the pageantry, and I wanted to keep playing. But I graduated. No colleges called, and neither did the pros. So, to stay close to the game I loved, I decided to become a high school official. You know, a referee. When I played high school sports, I learned the importance of integrity, good sportsmanship, and respect for the rules. Now, as a high school official, I get to help model these same values to others. Maybe the colleges and the pros didn't call, but the kids in Indiana did. And now, I'm enjoying the competition, the camaraderie, the bands, the crowds, and all the pageantry of high school sports all over again.
Interested in becoming a licensed high school official? Go to highschoolofficials.com to learn more and begin the application process.
Back once again here at Park Tudor High School. Great to have you with us as we carry game number 1 here this morning, and we'll talk more about if the Tigers or whoever it will be between the Tigers and Crusaders, who they will play perhaps later on tonight. Again, it is a double weekend for these teams. It'll be entering this contest here today. You win, you come back later tonight. If you lose, the season is over. Let's take a look at today's opponent. This is, again, a baseball team that comes in as we talk about this Scecina team that Dave Gandolf has been around a long time, 43 years, and you talk about 780 wins. The guy's been here a long time, and he's done a great job getting this program back on the right track. But again, that record could be a little bit deceiving. It's 16-13-1. They have won 4 out of their last 5. Now, their numbers are not as good as Hagerstown's when it comes to the hitting and pitching department, but they do hit well. .291 coming in, a slugging percentage of .390, and they will hit the baseball, averaging nearly 6 runs per game coming in. Not a real powerful team, only 3 home runs on the year, and the team that doesn't strike out a whole lot either at 185 strikeouts on the season. And you look at the fielding side of things, that's one statistic that kind of stood out for me watching, at least for this Scecina team here today, is the amount of errors, only 75 errors. Their fielding percentage is at 91%. Now, keep an eye on some of these guys here today. Eli Phillips, a guy who will lead off for Scecina, hitting at .440 on the year, 2 home runs. He's driven in 19, 11 doubles and 2 triples. His on-base percentage is at .560. His slugging percentage at .670. And his OPS is at 1.230 and 18 stolen bases. So as Scecina hopes to get him on base a lot today, a guy that will do it for them not only in the hitting department but on the bases as well. Keep an eye on Eli Phillips here today. Jamison Wilborn, another guy to watch at .333 on the season. He's driven in 19. His slugging percentage is at .466. Mac Ayers at .310. 20 runs driven in, 3 home runs, and 20 RBI. Also Liam Wright, a .304 batting average, 9 stolen bases, and 13 runs driven in. And Owen Begley, another guy to watch, at .295 and 21 RBI. And then, of course, Spencer Martinelli, a guy who hit toward the bottom of the order with 19 runs driven in this season. Now, the guy that the Tigers will have to beat today on the mound is Mac Ayers. Now, don't let the 6-5 record fool you. He is on his way to Ball State. He's a right-hander, an ERA at 2.37 in a team-best 62 innings this year, 101 strikeouts, and 28 walks. He's given up just 30 runs this year and 21 earned runs. So the Tigers will see the right-hander in this opening game here this afternoon. So that kind of sets the table for you here today for Indianapolis Scecina as the Tigers get set for this first game of the day. Weather won't be a problem. Of course, we talked about weather so much this year, but not today. We're going to see sunshine, temperatures in the 70-degree range, maybe a little bit warmer. Field is in great condition. Should be a great day for baseball. We'll come back. Starting lineups are coming up in just a couple of moments. Stay right there. This is Hagerstown and regional baseball right here on Radio Troy Digital Sports.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in Indiana. This is sportsmanship. School sports. It's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Meet Josh.
Hi, everybody.
Josh is a high school basketball player, solid shooter, great teammate.
Hey, don't forget my tenacious D.
And he's my son.
Uh-huh.
So, what does Josh do to be the best basketball player he can be?
I play tennis.
Studies show that student athletes here in Indiana who play more than one high school sport are more likely to excel. Tennis does more than improve Josh's conditioning. It gives him a fresh competitive outlet, reduces the risk of injury by cross-training, and introduces him to different coaching techniques and new friends.
Don't get me wrong, hoops are my first love. Tennis just gives me a little break.
So when the new season begins, Josh isn't burned out on basketball. He's eager to play. And you can see the difference in his game.
This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Question. When you walk into the boardrooms of the most successful companies here in Indiana, who do you meet? When you're working for a mover and shaker with strong ties to our community, who are they? When you encounter a group of people eager to roll up their sleeves, who are you most likely to work with? Answer. Men and women who played high school sports. Education-based high school sports give us more than athletes we can root for. They give us leaders we can depend on. Taking the initiative, being a good teammate, sacrificing personal glory for the greater good. These are qualities we expect of our leaders, and they're all being cultivated in the high schools right here in Indiana. Question. So where will we find tomorrow's leaders? Answer. High school sports.
This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
We are back at Park Tudor High School. Our vantage point won't be the best today. We are on the third base side, not directly behind home plate as we normally would be for a high school baseball game, but there is what you'll see. We'll try to give you a bird's eye view as well as the view by the camera as we go here today. 4 umpires just left moments ago. The good news is one of them is a Cardinals fan, so it should be a great day of baseball. Let's give you the starting lineups. First off for Scecina, as we mentioned, they come in at 16, 13, and 1. Eli Phillips, we talked about him a moment ago. He'll lead things off. He'll be at shortstop. Batting second in right field, Owen Begley. Hitting third, the pitcher, Mac Ayers. The cleanup hitter at second base, Liam Wright. Hitting fifth, the catcher, Jamison Wellborn. Hitting sixth, the first baseman, Wyatt Cosmaker. Hitting seventh in center field will be Spencer Martinelli. Hitting eighth and DHing, Patrick Denny. And hitting ninth and playing third base, Aiden Ray. So again for Scecina today, it's Phillips, Begley, Ayers, Wright, Wellborn, Cosmaker, Martinelli, Denny, and Ray. And again, Ayers will get the start today, the right-hander for Scecina. Tigers come in, again, just one loss this year, ranked number 1 in 2A, and they've been ranked number 1 for the last, in fact, almost the entire season. Grant Vinson will lead things off. He'll be in center field. Noah Dale hitting second in left field. Cody Swim will be hitting third today. He'll be pitching. Camden Rhodes, the cleanup hitter at first base. Dom Anderson hitting fifth at third base. Mason Hicks hitting sixth in right field. Clay Cochran, the catcher, hitting seventh. Hitting eighth and DHing will be Colin Romack. And hitting ninth, the shortstop, Brady McMillan. So again today for the Tigers, Vinson, Dale, Swim, Rhodes, Anderson, Hicks, Cochran, Romack, and McMillan. And again, Cody Swim will get the start today for the Hagerstown Tigers. Now, Hagerstown, they are the visiting team here today, so we'll see them hit first, and they'll get a chance to see Ayers, who they have seen before. And I know that being here a year ago, a lot of experience for the Hagerstown Tigers in the regional last year. And again, you can go to our website, radiotroy.com, and look at the interviews we had this week from several of the players and the head coach about what they learned from a year ago and how they'll bring that into today's regional that may help them in their quest to win a regional championship and then move on to the semi-state next week. Both head coaches at the home plate area meeting. There'll be 4 umpires today. That's always good to have more than just the normal 2. Tigers will take the infield coming up in a couple of moments, and we will get this one underway in just a little bit. Stay right there. This is regional baseball. Hagerstown Tigers and the Crusaders of Indianapolis Scecina coming up right here on Radio Troy Digital Sports.
The debate about sports specialization by high school athletes continues. Some argue that high school athletes who play one sport all year long have a better chance of landing a lucrative pro contract. But that's simply not true. In fact, 30 of the 32 first-round picks in last year's NFL draft played more than one sport in high school. Of the 32 players drafted, 22 also participated in high school track and field. 19 also played basketball. Some also played baseball and lacrosse. What's the path to success for high school athletes here in Indiana, no matter what their goals might be? Study hard, always do your best, and if you can, play more than one sport in high school. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Honey, isn't it amazing?
What?
The sacrifice, the dedication, the grit. I mean, they really set an example, don't they?
Oh, well, no question. Today's high school athletes are truly special.
Not the athletes.
Well, who?
The officials.
Oh.
Today's student athletes are truly special. But there's something pretty great about the men and women who officiate their games, too. Like the way they're giving back to their communities. Officiating is a terrific way to stay in shape, meet new people, and stay connected to the game you love. But the biggest reason of all? We need more qualified high school officials here in Indiana. And without them, the rest of us would have a whole lot less to cheer about. High school games need officials. High school sports need you.
Great call, Ralph!
Yeah!
Interested in becoming a licensed high school official? Go to highschoolofficials.com to learn more and begin the application process.
Question. When you walk into the boardrooms of the most successful companies here in Indiana, who do you meet? Answer. Men and women who played high school sports. Education-based high school sports give us more than athletes we can root for. They give us leaders we can depend on. Question: so where will we find tomorrow's leaders? Answer: high school sports.
This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association. It may not require a textbook, but it's filled with valuable lessons. It may not
Back here again at Park Tudor High School as we're ready to get this one underway here. Game number 1 of the regional. And again, the Tigers going to face a pretty good right-hander here in our first game, Mac Ayers. We talked about his numbers in the pregame just a few moments ago. A young man who will be going to Ball State. Tall right-hander. Throws very hard, and we were talking with Brad Cady and the Tigers this week about how they prepared for this young man. The one thing they said, they tried to simulate what he throws from a fastball standpoint. He throws very hard, so coaching staff kind of moved themselves into about 50 feet or so and tried to throw a few more fastballs at the Tigers here in their practice this week to get ready for this right-hander. And Mac Ayers will be a huge key today for the Crusaders. Of course, there was a little bit of controversy last year in the innings pitched he threw at one point, and I know now that the IHSA will have a pitch counter here to make sure that doesn't happen again. And my understanding was he was not able to play in the semi-state the following week because of the violation, so they'll keep a close eye on him here today. Tigers getting set here, and again, they'll be the visiting team. And I do want to mention, too, last week when the Tigers ended up winning the sectional after really handling Union County very easily. They go on to beat Centerville 3-1, a game that was 1-1, and then the rains came like it has done so much this season. Ended up continuing the game the next day. Talked to the players this week. They said they just didn't feel like they were as focused as they needed to be in that opening day, and came back much more focused in the second afternoon to play that one inning, and ended up winning that contest by a final of 3-1. So here we go. Grant Vinson will lead things off for the Tigers. It's Vinson, Dale, and Swim. Grant, right-handed hitter, and this game is underway about 6 minutes past the original starting time. We're supposed to start at 11, and the first pitch is low for a ball, and we are underway. The wind and the pitch, and that, too, is going to be low. 2 balls and no strikes. Vinson, good speed at the top of the order. Pitch is on the way, swing and a miss. And we'll go to 2 balls and a strike. Defensively, behind the plate, Wellborn catching here in this first game. Pitch is low, 3 balls and a strike. At first base, Cosmaker. At second base is Wright. Over at third base, Ray, and the shortstop today will be Eli Phillips. Swing and a miss. And 3 balls, 2 strikes. In the outfield and left field is Lynn. In center field is Martinelli, and right field Begley. And they are straight away for the right-handed hitter, Grant Vincent. Here's the wide and the payoff pitch on the way, grounded foul to the near side. And we'll stay at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Vincent hitting at .438 on the season as the Tigers' leadoff hitter. Here's the payoff pitch once again, and a breaking pitch got him swinging, and there's one away. Good pitch by Ayers, and with 1 out, that'll bring up Noah Dale.
Now batting left fielder number 24, Noah Dale.
Dale, the left-handed hitter, hitting in the number 2 spot here in this opening game, hitting at .256. And the pitch in there for a strike. So after Ayers struggled with the first couple of pitches, gets ahead of the leadoff hitter, strikes out Vincent, and that pitch is high and outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Tigers struggling a little bit after scoring all those runs against Union County, putting runs on the board against Centerville, though they faced a very good pitcher as that one is fouled away in Dalton Stevens. In that win over the Bulldogs, Noah Dale choking up a little bit as he gets set to hit once again. And the pitch on the way by Ayers and struck him out. So back-to-back strikeouts to start this afternoon's contest, and that'll bring up now the pitcher, Cody Swim.
Batting for Hagerstown, the pitcher, number 0, Cody Swim.
Well, Cody's done it all this year, no doubt about the season he has had, a .523 batting average. He has driven in 24, and of course he'll pitch today. He readily admitted it that he has a little bit of nerves going into this one here this afternoon as gets a chance to throw for the Tigers as he will step to the plate once again. Check swing. Did he go around? No. 2 balls and no strikes now to Cody. Well, Ayers looking pretty good early. The right-hander set to throw, and the pitch on the way is a fastball, and you can kind of tell he's got a lot of pop on that fastball. He's in the upper 80s with the fastball as another breaking pitch, ground ball toward the shortstop. Phillips will charge, and the throw to first is in time, and the Tigers go down in order. We will head to the bottom half of inning number 1. Hagerstown nothing. Scecina coming to bat. This is the regional right here on Radio Troy Digital Sports.
I loved playing high school sports. I loved the competition, the camaraderie, the bands, the crowds, all the pageantry, and I wanted to keep playing. But I graduated. No colleges called, and neither did the pros. So, to stay close to the game I loved, I decided to become a high school official. You know, a referee. When I played high school sports, I learned the importance of integrity, good sportsmanship, and respect for the rules. Now, as a high school official, I get to help model these same values to others. Maybe the colleges and the pros didn't call, but the kids in Indiana did. And now, I'm enjoying the competition, the camaraderie, the bands, the crowds, and all the pageantry of high school sports all over again.
Interested in becoming a licensed high school official? Go to highschoolofficials.com to learn more and begin the application process.
We are back once again at Park Tudor High School as the Tigers go down in order. And, well, here's Cody Swim. We named him our player of the year in the area because of the season, not just in the hitting department, but in the pitching department as well. And by the way, for fans that are Richmond Rooster fans. He will be a part of that team as soon as his high school career comes to an end. He'll be playing for the Roosters this season, as they'll be playing the majority of their games at Hagerstown High School. And a lot of people are excited about that as well.
Shortstop number 12,
Eli Phillips will lead things off. Cody this year, as we mentioned, 9-0, 11 games on the year, an ERA of 0.66. What a season he has had. And the first pitch is out of the strike zone, 1 ball, no strikes. 370, I believe, is what it says, and is at 375 in dead center here at Park Tudor High School. There's a strike. It is 315 down the right field line. And we cannot see the left field line because of the pine trees that are there. There's a strike, 1-2. Scoreboard is deep in left field. Here at a beautiful place to play from a standpoint of that's hit foul. We'll stay at 1-2. Just not a whole lot of seating here at the ballpark. But field condition-wise, looks like it's in great shape. Phillips, we mentioned his numbers, well over 500 hitter. Here's the pitch by Cody. Swing and a miss. Cochran drops it, throws to first, strikeout throw out, and there's one away. So here's Begley. So each pitcher an early advantage, 2 strikeouts for Ayers and a strikeout of their best hitter in Phillips. So good start for Cody Swim. Here's Begley. Left-handed hitter. 1 away here in the bottom of the first inning, and Swim's pitch is on the way and a good fastball. Well, it appears Swim throws maybe just as hard as Ayers. And a quick worker as well. Here's the pitch on the way, the breaking ball. That bounces in front of Cochran. And the count 1 ball, 1 strike. Cochran doing a really good job handling the pitching staff this year. There's a foul ball, 1-2. Asked Cody if he was going to continue playing baseball after his high school days are over. He's not sure yet. One thing he did say he wanted to try to be a student maybe for once. So I wonder what he's been doing for the last 12 years. Here's the pitch on the way. Inside corner, got him looking. So Begley strikes out. 2 away. Here's Ayers.
Now batting the pitcher, number 50, Mac Ayers.
So good start now for Cody Swim. Ayers will step to the plate. Pitcher against pitcher. And the tall right-hander steps in, takes that pitch low and outside. 1 ball and no strikes. The pitch on the way, hit well into left field. That is going to fall in for a base hit. The center fielder coming over to cut that off, Grant Vincent, but a 2-out single and a man on now for Scecina here in the bottom of the first inning. And here's Liam Wright.
Second baseman, number 2, Liam Wright.
Got just enough of that one. Get that one out of the infield for a single, our first base hit of the day, and Liam Wright now, the cleanup hitter, will step up. And now we'll see a visit by Cochran out to talk with Cody Swim. Again, if you just joined us, our vantage point is, again, not exactly where we generally like it to be. By the way, there is now a courtesy runner at first base. That is Luke Soltz. So they will have a courtesy runner. And the pitch, bunt laid down, third base side. Swim comes off the mound, throws to first, gets the out, and that'll do it for Scecina. We will head to the top of inning number 2. No score here at Park Tudor High School. This is Regional Baseball, Radio Troy Digital Sports.
It may not require a textbook, but it's filled with valuable lessons. It may not take place in a classroom, but it's an ideal environment for learning. It may not involve a diploma, but it can help prepare Indiana's young people for life. It's high school sports. High school sports can play a critical role in a student's overall education. In fact, studies show that students that participate in high school sports are more likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in their academic lives. If you think high school sports are only about competition, think again. Better yet, think about attending a high school sporting event in your community. You'll be amazed by what you see. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Well, Tigers will hit for the second time today. Welcome back once again to Park Tudor High School. Game number 1 here this afternoon. If the Tigers do win, they'll play again later tonight. So they've already made arrangements, speaking of the Tigers, to stay here in the Indianapolis area and get some rest between the two games. Of course, Scecina being from Indianapolis, they can all go home. That's the advantage they have. And rest in their own homes here this afternoon. Here's Camden Rhodes to lead things off. It'll be Rhodes, Anderson, and Hicks. Two strikeouts for Ayers in the first inning. A 1-2-3 inning for the right-hander, and his first pitch low and inside, 1 ball, no strikes. Outfield a little shallow in right field. As Begley playing in a few steps, that'll catch a piece of Wellborn behind the plate. Of course, the courtesy is to give him a chance to regroup, so the umpire will go out and hand the baseball to Ayers. Rhodes able to get just a piece of it. One ball and 1 strike here to Camden Rhodes. He's one of those guys that doesn't get a whole lot of attention because you got guys like Cody Swim and Mason Hicks and other guys who've had some pretty good seasons. Grant Vinson, we mentioned at the top of the order, but this guy right here just comes out, does his job, and in that number 4 spot, make sure that the catcher Wellborn is okay. Here's the pitch on the way, and it's low and outside, 2-1. Ayers able to get the sign. Here's the leg kick and the pitch, and a high fastball hit into center field. That's going to be trouble. Going back on it will be Martinelli. He played it really shallow, and that'll be a double for Camden Rhodes. I should say the Tigers picking up their first hit. Boy, Martinelli really shallow in center. We'd mentioned that the right fielder Begley was shallow. Here is Dom Anderson. So the first extra base hit of the ball game, and the Tigers have a man on here in the second inning as Anderson steps to the plate. Chance for the Tigers to get on the board here in the second inning. Ayers with the pitch and a fastball over the head of Anderson. And it's 1 ball, no strikes. Well, still appears that the center fielder a little bit shallow, as is the right fielder for Anderson, who takes a big cut, fouls that one back. Tigers trying to be aggressive at the plate. Of course, you look at Ayers, the way he will attack the strike zone today. I would imagine his idea is to challenge these hitters. As Ayers checks the runner, and they'll attempt the bunt. He did offer, throw down to second, tag laid on, and I think they may have gotten him, and they did. Base running error there by the Tigers as Rhodes is thrown out by the catcher, and there's one away. So the double for Knott now for the Quakers. I should say for the Tigers. I've been doing Quaker baseball so long, I'm not sure which team it is. So that's an out here in the second. Anderson will swing and miss and strikes out. So just like that, 2 away for the Tigers here in the second inning. Third strikeout now for Ayers, 2 away, and here's Mason Hicks. By the way, speaking of baseball, the Roosters play over here at Warren Central High School today. We may go over there and catch a couple of games. 1 ball and no strikes. Now to Mason Hicks. Ayers' next pitch on the way is low. All kinds of people from Wayne County over here this afternoon. Hicks hitting in the number 6 spot, the right fielder. Time will be called as Ayers will get a new baseball. Mason, 226 on the season. The wind and the pitch on the way is outside. Well, hopefully the Tigers won't look back at this second inning and wonder what if after the leadoff double by Rhodes, and then he is thrown out down at second base. There is a pitch that's outside, and the Tigers have a man on. 2-out walk given up now to Hicks. And here's Clay Cochran.
The batter, the catcher, number 2, Clay Cochran.
Cochran still sporting that porn mustache, I do believe, after talking to him earlier this week. Mom, by the way, does not like it. So Cochran has a chance here for the Tigers in the second inning. He's one of the funniest players that I've ever talked to, no matter whether it was football or wrestling or baseball. Popped up to the right side, shallow right field. The right fielder coming in will make the catch as Begley calling off the second baseman right, and that'll do it for the Tigers in the top of the second inning. What might have been their first run for naught. We'll head to the bottom half of inning number 2. Tigers and the Crusaders, no score. This is Regional Baseball and Radio Troy Digital Sports.
I loved playing high school sports. I loved the competition, the camaraderie, the bands, the crowds, all the pageantry, and I wanted to keep playing. But I graduated. No colleges called, and neither did the pros. So, to stay close to the game I loved, I decided to become a high school official. You know, a referee. When I played high school sports, I learned the importance of integrity, good sportsmanship, and respect for the rules. Now, as a high school official, I get to help model these same values to others. Maybe the colleges and the pros didn't call, but the kids in Indiana did. And now, I'm enjoying the competition, the camaraderie, the bands, the crowds, and all the pageantry of high school sports all over again.
Interested in becoming a licensed high school official? Go to highschoolofficials.com to learn more and begin the application process.
Park Tudor High School here this afternoon. Game 1. No scores. We head to the bottom of inning number 2. Wellborn, Cosmaker, and Martinelli all due up now for the Crusaders. 2 strikeouts for Cody in the first inning. And that pitch in there for a strike. Good fastball again by Cody. The leg kick and the pitch. Low and outside. Cody, I like the way he works. It's very quick. Gets the sign. There's the swing and a miss. Cochran, and give him credit too. He is another guy that'll get the signal quickly from the bench and send it out to Cody, and they work quickly. And I tell you what, the one thing about it, there's a swing and a miss. Good breaking pitch. The defense likes that as well. You got guys that are standing out there, and they want to get things moving. Third strikeout now for Cody Swim. Here's Cosmaker, the first baseman. Third baseman coming in. Cosmaker swings at the first pitch, popped it up. Swim coming off the mound will take it himself, and there's 2 away. And here's Martinelli.
Now batting the center
Well,
fielder,
Ayers so
15,
far
Spencer
the only base
Martinelli.
hit for the Crusaders. Wellborn may want to get that ball back, that pitch back again. He looked at the first pitch, and sometimes that might be the best pitch you'll see in the entire series, but a little anxious that time, may have been a little over-aggressive as Cody's fastball is up high. 1 ball, no strikes. All indications are now this is going to be a low-scoring game here this afternoon. Is that pitch in there for a strike? Right fielder way off the line is Mason Hicks. That pitch out of the strike zone, and watching Hicks, he's again way off the line in right field, so they're not really anticipating here Martinelli to pull the baseball, especially with the way that Cody Swim, his fastball hard to catch up with. Cody gets the sign. Here's the pitch on the way, and that one is just off the strike zone. So we'll go to 3 balls and a strike. Or is that's going to be ball 4. 3-1 on the count, so Martinelli will walk here in the second, and here is Patrick Denny. Denny, right-handed hitter, the designated hitter. Crusaders have a runner on for the second straight time. The stretch, and now for the Tigers, the pitch on the way, and it's outside, 1-0. Hicks again will stay off the line in right field for the right-handed hitter, Patrick Denny. Swim will come set, and the pitch on the way. This hit to the second baseman. The flip on to shortstop. That'll do it. Davis to McMillan. Man left on. Will head to the top of the third. No score here from Park Tudor High School. This is Regional Baseball, Radio Troy Digital Sports.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in Indiana. This is sportsmanship. School sports. It's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
What do basketball, choir, drama club, and marching band all have in common? They're all high school activities that offer learning opportunities not necessarily found in the classroom. They take up just a fraction of a typical Indiana high school's budget, and they go a long way to giving young people the tools they need to thrive. High school activities, they're more than extracurricular. They're extra important, too. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
And we welcome you back again to Park Tudor High School here for this opening regional contest between the Hagerstown Tigers and the Crusaders of Indianapolis Scecina. We will head to the top of the third, Romack, McMillan, and then Vinson. So we're at 8, 9, and 1 in the Tigers order.
Hagerstown, the designated hitter number 7, Colin Romack.
See if the Tigers can get things rolling here in the third. The leadoff double by Camden Rhodes, the only base hit in the ball game so far in the second inning off Ayers, the right-hander. That's going to be hit foul. No balls and a strike. Romack back in. The pitch by Ayers is a called strike, and he's quickly down in the count at 0-2. A few of the Tiger fans didn't like that call. Ayers will get the sign. Here's the leg kick and the pitch. Breaking pitch got him swinging. That'll be the 4th strikeout by Ayers. And one away here in the third. Here is McMillan.
The batter number 3, Brady McMillan.
McMillan again, the number 9 hitter, steps in for the first time. Ayers will size him up. Fastball hit foul. And a snowball's and a strike. Light breeze is blowing straight out center field. Here's the pitch. Ow, and that one hits him. So McMillan will take one for the team. He'll head down to first base, and the Tigers have a runner on. And here's Grant Vinson, who struck out his first time up.
Grant Vinson.
So now the Tigers with base runners in the second and third. Ayers will come set as he works from the stretch. Here's the pitch. The fastball stays up high, 1-0. McMillan the lead at first base. The stretch again by Ayers. The pitch. That one's a fastball in there for a strike. Coaches from the other two teams here watching this contest, anticipating that they may play later today, as there's another fastball and another strike. 1-2 now to Vinson. Ayers will check the runner at first. And a soft toss just to let him know he's there, as McMillan back in plenty of time. Not a great move there by Ayers. Ayers' pitch just got a piece of it, and that got a piece of the catcher again, as Wellborn has been tagged twice. Those are the kind of things that make you not want to be a catcher. I'd be like going back to the dugout crying like a little baby, leaving marks all over my body. I think that might have hit him on the upper thigh, which is hard to believe, where that ball might have been fouled off. He looks like he's okay, but he's been hit twice. Here's Ayers once again with the pitch. Breaking ball tapped in front of the plate. Catcher starts to pick it up barehanded, and Wellborn can't do so. And the Tigers will have runners at first and second. Unless they bring it back and say it was a foul ball, which that may be the case. So I hear you there. Messes up the score sheet. I didn't see him call that a foul ball. It wasn't like he was really making us look like it was a foul ball, right? At least give us a little indication. That's hit foul. Good swing there by Vinson. And we will stay at 1-2 strikes. Good crowd here from Hagerstown today. In fact, they probably have 2/3, maybe a little bit more of all the fans that are here. A lot of fans in the outfield on the left-hand side where we are, and out in the outfield. So there are a lot of people here to see this first game. 1-2 strikes. McMillan the lead at first. The stretch by Ayers. The pitch is on the way. Gets away from Wellborn, the catcher. So now the Tigers will have a runner at second base. And 2 strikes. So see how Ayers will come back right here. Checks the runner at second. The breaking pitch, and good job by Vinson. He's going to stay alive. Got just a piece of it. So we'll stay at 2 strikes. Ayers ready to throw, and the fastball hit high in the air, but foul down the left field line and will go out of play. Quite an at-bat right here for your leadoff hitter, Grant Vinson. Ayers gets the sign to check the runner at second, and the pitch on the way is a breaking ball low in the dirt, but it gets away from the catcher, and Grant Vinson will be safe at first base. McMillan advancing to third. Here's Noah Dale.
Left fielder number 24, Noah Dale.
Still just one away here for the Tigers, trying to get on the board first. Noah struck out his first time up. Grant with good speed down at first base. Let's see if they'll send him as Ayers will step off and look both runners back. Tigers got a double and a runner in scoring position in the second as that pitch is outside, and Ayers maybe a little shook up right here after his catcher, Wellborn, unable to corral that last pitch. The stretch by Ayers and the pitch on the way to the plate, and the runner takes off from third, tagged out in a base running error, and the throw to first not in time. So somebody missed a sign someplace because McMillan, he takes off, and I'm assuming that Noah Dale was going to try to squeeze him in, but he may have missed the sign. So the Tigers now with 2 away. And the count should be 2 balls and no strikes. Now to Noah Dale. That could be very costly. 2 straight innings in which the Tigers have had a base running error or miscommunication at the plate here for Noah Dale. He'll step back in. The pitch by Ayers, fastball low and inside. Runner still at first base is Vincent. He'll draw the throw. He is, again, we talk about his speed. He's got good speed. Just at this point, you go ahead and try to send him. Trying to keep this inning going as Dale steps to the plate. Fastball in there for a strike. He was taking all the way. Now 3-1. The pitch on the way, and it's outside. That'll be ball 4. Now runners at first and second. Here's Cody Swim. Cody grounded out his only time up in the first inning.
Batting next for Hagerstown, the pitcher, number 0, Cody Swim.
Well, the Tigers a chance here again in the third after McMillan is out trying to either the suicide squeeze here just moments ago. Big out there for the Crusaders. There's a swing and a miss for Cody. But now you have another runner in scoring position as Grant Vinson down at second base. The stretch. Ayers will check the runner at second. The pitch, that's going to bounce away from Wellborn, but able to run that one down. And the count 1 ball and 1 strike. Not a whole lot of area behind the home plate to the backstop, so if that ball gets loose, you better make sure that it gets away far enough. Ayers again set to throw, popped up foul and out of play. So we'll go to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Another opportunity here for the Tigers. Let's see if they can take advantage as Ayers' next pitch is a breaking ball, strikes him out. And the Tigers will leave a couple of runners on base here in the top of inning number 3. We will head to the bottom of the third. No score. This is regional baseball on Radio Troy Digital Sports.
Honey, isn't it amazing?
What?
The sacrifice, the dedication, the grit. I mean, they really set an example, don't they?
Oh, well, no question. Today's high school athletes are truly special.
Not the athletes.
Woohoo.
The officials.
Oh.
Today's student athletes are truly special. But there's something pretty great about the men and women who officiate their games, too. Like the way they're giving back to their communities. Officiating is a terrific way to stay in shape, meet new people, and stay connected to the game you love. But the biggest reason of all? We need more qualified high school officials here in Indiana. And without them, the rest of us would have a whole lot less to cheer about. High school games need officials. High school sports need you.
Great call, Ralph!
Yeah!
Interested in becoming a licensed high school official? Go to highschoolofficials.com to learn more and begin the application process.
We will head down to the bottom of the third. It'll be Ray, Phillips, and Begley, 9-1-2 now for the Crusaders. And Cody Swim, fastball swung on and missed. No balls and a strike. Aiden Ray, the third baseman. The next pitch bouncing. 1 ball, 1 strike. One thing about Clay Cochran, he does a great job. Whether there's anybody on base or not, he will knock the ball down, make sure everything stays in front of him. Good technique, good. That pitch a little bit low, just good fundamental baseball by your catcher. Here's your 2-1 pitch. That's low. So 3 balls and a strike now to Ray. Your 3-1 pitch fouled off. And good fastball again by Cody, 3-2. Cody seems like in a good rhythm right now. He's pretty comfortable. I think he's kind of settled in. Another fastball. That's going to be lined to the shortstop. McMillan gloves that one for 1 away. Well hit ball.
Now batting number 12, Eli.
Here's Phillips. Phillips, a strikeout throwout victim in the first, his only plate appearance. And, of course, we mentioned his numbers coming in like a video game. Over 500 batting average. His numbers, in fact, lead the team in about every category. That's hit down the left field line, and that is going to be a fair ball as Phillips makes the big turn at first base in a 1-out single by Phillips.
Batting for the Crusaders, right fielder, number 19, Owen Begley.
Well, he went in and attacked that first pitch, anticipating a fastball. Here is Begley, a strikeout victim in the first, so the Crusaders have a base runner on in all 3 innings. And Phillips is a stolen base threat, so they'll keep an eye on him at first base. The pitch, that's hit off the end of the bat, and that'll go foul. Dom Anderson was charging in down at third. He was going to make sure that if Begley was going to lay down the bunt, he wasn't going to do it to that side, try to take that part away from his game. Phillips again the lead, will draw the throw, the tag laid on. Always like a good hard tag laid on the base runner. Let him know that if you're going to come back in, we'll give you a hard tag in the ribs. Sorry. Here's the pitch on the way, and it's outside, and tell you what, Begley showing bunt. Well, the guy to my left is a little bigger than you, so I thought I'd hit you. Throw to first and closer play this time. You know, it's kind of neat at this ballpark, at least from our standpoint. You have the fans behind the home plate, but the Tiger fans are right down there on the first base side, too. So they get a pretty good look at what's happening over at first base. The pitch on the way, popped him up, and that'll be down the left field line. And we don't know what's going on because home plate umpire didn't say anything, so I'm assuming it's a foul ball. We can't see down the left field line. But we'll go to 1 and 2. We have a big, gigantic pine tree right here. It is a very beautiful pine tree, but they should have moved it back that way. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1 away here in the bottom of the third. Still no score. Cody will come set, throw to first again. You know, high school baseball has changed a lot over the years with the pitch count, and we really got to be careful how you use your pitchers, how many innings they can throw per week. It's like a science now. The stretch and the pitch is high and outside. It used to be a day where you just threw as much as you wanted. Those are the good old days. The stretch once again. Cody will check the runner. Here's the pitch. It's low. And you look back at the last half inning with Ayers throwing more pitches probably than he wanted to. And for the Tigers, they want to make sure that Cody doesn't throw any more than he has to. But I think the Tigers' pitching staff is a little bit deeper than the Crusaders. But that pitch is low and outside. That'll be a walk for Begley. Here's Ayers. Ayers singled his last time up. And we will have a visit to the mound as they'll talk with Cody. And I think this is also just a little talk, settle him down. Make sure they know where they're going to go defensively. This could be a 2-tier visit, not only with Cody, but again, know where you're going to go with the baseball. Look ahead, knowing that there, again, is 1 out. Possible double play here will get you out of the inning. But again, this is a grass infield. A little bit slower. I tell you what, if the Tigers could play at Earlham all the time, nobody'd beat them. They can get that ball in the gaps, and they use their speed. That was just a tremendous display they put on against Union County. I don't know, what did he end up with, 8 extra base hits? Was it 8 or 9? And I mean, triples all over the place. Just great baseball for them. Meeting is over, and now Ayers will step in. We mentioned Ayers singled his last time up. Breaking pitch is in there for a strike. Well, Phillips was looking first pitch fastball. This time Cody opens up with a breaking pitch. Ayers has a big strike zone to work with here. Tall, lanky, right-handed hitter. The pitch on the way is a fastball, late swing, and he's quickly behind it 0-2. Boy, it'd be big to get Ayers and then work on Liam Wright, the cleanup hitter. This is the first time today that the Crusaders have had a runner in scoring position. They had Ayers get a base hit. Martinelli walked in the second inning. Neither one advancing to second base. There's another fastball, and Ayers will foul it away 0-2. Ayers will like that Ball State program. They got a great college baseball program and an excellent facility. They had another great year this year. Unfortunately, was not able to make it to the NCAA tournament. Breaking pitch hit up the middle. That's a base hit. Rounding third is Phillips. The center fielder charging and throwing. It'll be cut off, and it's 1-0. So Ayers with the single. And Scecina gets on the board here in the third.
Now batting number 2, second baseman Liam Wright.
By the way, Ayers with his second base hit.
Courtesy runner number 9.
Here is Liam Wright, and the courtesy runner down at first base will be Luke Soltz, a freshman, backup third baseman and pitcher. And now here is Liam Wright. Infield will play at medium depth right now. In fact, the first baseman, you can see him really coming in, is Camden Rhodes, and that pitch is in there for a strike. One thing the Tigers don't want to have happen here is let this get into a big inning. The stretch by Cody. The pitch on the way is a fastball. Good cut, foul to the screen, and he jumps ahead at no balls and 2 strikes. Runs could be at a premium today. That's why this could be another big at-bat right here for Scecina as the fastball is up high. As I mentioned earlier, I think that Hagerstown's overall pitching staff is probably better than Indianapolis Scecina. The Tigers have several good arms they can throw out there. So there's an advantage if Swim gets into trouble. The throw to first, tag laid on, and they got him. Well, Ayers got the big base hit, but then he gets picked off at first base for the second out. So now we have seen both teams commit base running errors. So now Wright will still have a runner down at second base, but that eliminates one base runner. As Cody can go to work, swing and a miss. Cochran makes the catch, and just like that, the inning is over. So Scecina may have cost themselves a chance to get more than one run, but they strike first as we move to the top of the fourth inning. It is Scecina 1 and Hagerstown nothing. This is regional baseball, Radio Troy Digital Sports.
The debate about sports specialization by high school athletes continues. Some argue that high school athletes who play one sport all year long have a better chance of landing a lucrative pro contract. But that's simply not true. In fact, 30 of the 32 first-round picks in last year's NFL draft played more than one sport in high school. Of the 32 players drafted, 22 also participated in high school track and field. 19 also played basketball. Some also played baseball and lacrosse. What's the path to success for high school athletes here in Indiana, no matter what their goals might be? Study hard. Always do your best. And if you can, play more than one sport in high school. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Well, a beautiful day here in Indianapolis. We're at Park Tudor High School, and both teams, you kind of look at this one through the first three innings as we will head to the fourth. That both teams have had opportunities. Both teams have made some crucial errors, and now we're going to see who's going to eventually take advantage of some of those errors if they continue here late. But Scecina gets the first run on the board. Tigers will have Rhodes, Anderson, and Hicks here in the fourth. Again, the winner will have to play again later today as Ayers' first pitch is a breaking ball up high. Ayers trying to pick up his seventh win of the year. Good fastball and a big cut by Rhodes. Doubled his first time up. Was then thrown out by the catcher, Wellborn, down at second base. Swing and a miss again. Another big cut. Well, if you're Rhodes, question is, what do you look for here? I venture to say you're probably going to see a breaking pitch. There you go. Got him looking, though. Well, usually they tell you don't play the guessing game as a hitter, as Dom Anderson will step up, but you just have a feeling. You knew that Ayers got ahead in the count. He had nothing to lose there by throwing a breaking pitch because he's got a pretty good fastball. That's going to catch. I'll tell you what. I hate to laugh, but Wellborn has been tagged now 3 times. And believe me, being a former catcher myself, that catches you off the mask. It feels like you've been knocked out. These guys are tougher than me. I'd have quit. Who needs that, right? No balls and 1 strike, Dom Anderson. I'll give Wellborn credit. He's hanging in there. Haven't quite gotten ready to go yet. Dom Anderson ready to throw. Ayers steps out and now set to throw. Here's the pitch. There's that breaking ball. Ayers has done a pretty good job of getting that across the plate. Ayers gets the sign, the late kick, and the pitch. Fastball up high. A lot of pitchers will use that breaking ball to set up their fastball, or they'll use a breaking pitch to maybe think you're going to come back with a fastball. That one's inside. Ayers apparently at this point not afraid to throw it in about any situation, as he has a 2-2 count here on Anderson. There's your fastball, and boy, Don just got a piece of it. Two balls and two strikes, one away here in the top of the fourth inning. Crusaders on top, 1-0. Here's the pitch. Late swing, and that'll be just off the netting above the Tigers' dugout. You know, one thing they've done here at Park Tudor is if fans can notice it, that the dugout has a fence in front of it, taking no chances with a foul ball hitting into the dugout at all. That's foul tipped. There's going to come a time where netting is going to be like hockey. They're going to put it all the way around, just like Major League Baseball had that big issue this week on another youngster being hit. And take no chances. Here's the pitch on the way, and that one got a piece of him. And the catcher, Wellborn, that one may have went off of the hitter Anderson and caught a piece of Wellborn in the ribs. Wellborn, we're going to keep an eye on him. That's 4 times he's been dinged up. So here's Hicks. Second time today Ayers unofficially has hit a batter. That one barely grazing Anderson, but the good news is for the Tigers, they have a runner on now here in the fourth inning. Ayers, quick throw to first, tag, no. Many of the fans that will be witnessing the second game making their way here to the ballpark as that pitch in the dirt. Things will get crowded for a little bit until one group or two groups leave and the next groups come in. And imagine that those that pick up the win will want to hang around and see the second game. Here's the pitch on the way. It's low. 2 balls and no strikes. Now, you know, you look at Mason, batting average-wise, not where he would like it to be, but still a very good hitter at the number 6 spot. The stretch by Ayers in the pitch, swing and a miss. Two and one now to Hicks. Anderson a lead down at first base for the Tigers, trailing at 1-0. Trying to get on the board here in the fourth inning. The pitch. Hit well down the line, that's a base hit. Anderson rounding second. He is going to hold up there. He started to make his move to third and then picked up the third base coach. So now the Tigers with runners at first and second with 1 out, and that'll bring up Clay Cochran.
Batting next, the catcher, number 2, Clay Cochran.
Well, now the Tigers in 3 of the 4 innings have a runner in scoring position. Looks like we will have a courtesy runner down at second base. Is that number 11, Michael Howard? So Howard will be at second. Now the question is here, you have 1 out. You have Cochran at the plate. Do you attempt to bunt them over? Do you let Cochran swing? Michael Howard is a sophomore. Chance to get in the ball game. Here's the courtesy runner again at second base. Cochran flew out his only time up. Ayers ready to throw on the fastball, low and outside. 1 ball, no strikes. And now a visit to the mound in there. He's going to tell everybody just to stay back. This is a talk with Ayers, try to settle him down, much like what happened for the Tigers and Cody Swim when Coach Katie went out to talk to him. Well, when you look at the first 3 1/3 innings of this ball game, as we said a little bit ago, we're talking about both teams having more opportunities and making some mistakes in these first few innings. And the Tigers had Rhodes get to second base. He had that leadoff double back in the second. He got thrown out. Tigers ended up getting runners at first and second in the third inning. McMillan was thrown out in between home and third as he was tagged out by Wellborn. Cochran back in. Here's the pitch on the way, grounded to the right side. Second baseman bobbles it, throw to first, not in time. That'll be an error, and the bases are loaded. So the Tigers pick up the error, and that could be a costly one as Colin Romack steps to the plate.
Batting next for Hagerstown, number 7, the designated hitter, Colin Romack.
Infield will be in, and so that will up the percentages for Romack if he can hit it hard on the ground. Scecina will look to get an out at home and perhaps a double play out of this as well. Ayers with the pitch on the way, breaking ball hit foul. So yet another opportunity for this Hagerstown baseball team to get on the board here in this one. Ayers gets the sign, a check of the runner at third. He'll step off. Many times a pitcher will step off and try to get the hitter to maybe give away what he attempts to do if it's a bunt attempt. But in this situation, I would think the Tigers will let him hit away as that pitch gets away from the catcher, Wellborn, and hits that backstop area and comes right back. So just a bad pitch, no wild pitch, no one advancing. And the count 1-1 strike now to Romack. The stretch by Ayers. The pitch. Way outside, and he wasn't even close that time. Stretch for Ayers once again. And the pitch on the way, popped him up on the right side. This could be trouble. The second baseman going out in shallow right field, making the catch. Good job by Liam Wright to stay with it, 2 away, and that's a big out if you're the Crusaders. The infield was in, and Wright had to go ways to get that baseball. Here's McMillan. Bases remain loaded. No one able to advance on that ball. So McMillan will step up to the plate, hit by pitches last time up in the third. And Ayers attacks him with that pitch, that fastball high and inside, no balls and a strike. Infield go back to normal depth right here for the Crusaders. McMillan, the number 9 hitter in the Tiger lineup. Here's the pitch by Ayers, breaking ball, tapped to the pitcher Ayers. He'll throw to first, and the Tigers will leave the bases loaded here in the top of the 4th inning. Tough break for Hagerstown right there as we will head to the bottom of the 4th. Scecina leading Hagerstown in regional baseball action 1-0. This is Radio Troy Digital Sports.
Question. When you walk into the boardrooms of the most successful companies here in Indiana, who do you meet? Answer. Men and women who played high school sports. Education-based high school sports give us more than athletes we can root for. They give us leaders we can depend on. Question. So where will we find tomorrow's leaders? Answer. High school sports.
This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
What do basketball, choir, drama club, and marching band all have in common? They're all high school activities that offer learning opportunities not necessarily found in the classroom. They take up just a fraction of a typical Indiana high school's budget, and they go a long way to giving young people the tools they need to thrive. High school activities, they're more than extracurricular. They're extra important, too. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
You know, you look at your score sheet as we welcome you back to Park Tudor High School, and many times you put an asterisk next to an inning, and we have 3 now for the Tigers, second, third, and fourth, but none bigger than that last inning when the Tigers got the bases loaded. Wellborn steps up. He will pop this one up as he swings at the first pitch. Cody Swim will make the catch. 1 pitch, 1 out. That's a huge advantage there for Cody in the pitch count. So quickly 1 away. I would imagine if I were Wellborn, after striking out looking the last time, I might look at a pitch or two just to try to see Cody swim or see Cody throw a couple of more pitches. There's a swing and a miss by Cosmaker. Cosmaker flew out to Cody his last time up in the second. The wind and the pitch on the way. That'll bounce, and they will appeal. Did he go around? No. A little odd by that. I'm not sure why he asked for an appeal on that, but 1 ball, 1 strike. We do know that the home plate umpire is not a Cardinals fan, so that's a strike against him already. Here's the pitch on the way, and a breaking ball in there for a strike. Cody with the sign, the leg kick, and the pitch. Low and outside, 2-2. And for Cody, really hasn't thrown deep in any count so far. Did have the walk to Bagley back in the third, and again got himself out of trouble, though he did give up the base hit and the run in that third. The pitch on the way is a fastball low and inside, 3-2. When we are done here this afternoon, we'll clear out here pretty quick and get you updated on all the other baseball activity and regional play throughout the entire day as Cody's next pitch bouncing in the dirt, and that'll be a walk. Cosmaker down to first, and that'll bring up Martinelli.
Spencer Martinelli.
That is the third walk given up now by Cody Swim here this afternoon. Scecina has had a base runner in all 3 innings, now 4 innings. But so far just 1 run. The stretch and the pitch, and it's in there for a strike. Martinelli showing bunt. This could be big right here for the Crusaders as well, knowing that runs could be at a premium the rest of the way as the throw to first not in time. For the Tigers, they have left now 1, 2, 3, 4 in scoring position. Would have been another one with the McMillan if he hadn't gotten thrown out. Martinelli walked his last time up. Left-handed hitter showing bunt. The stretch and the pitch, and he offers. And he's down to the count at 0-2. So that takes that strategy away a little bit now for Martinelli and the Crusaders. Dom Anderson was charging in very quickly down at third. He's going to take away the bunt on the left side. In fact, he's showing bunt again, Martinelli, and he'll square to bunt. Let's see if he pulls back. Dom Anderson coming in. He does pull back. Base hit to the left side, or right side, excuse me, and that'll put runners at first and second.
Batting next, the designated hitter, number 25, Patrick Denny.
Well, that ball hit just enough that time for Martinelli. Derek Davis, the second baseman, able to get to it, keeping it from going into right field, as here is Patrick Denny. Breaking pitch, a called strike, so now the Crusaders runners at first and second. Cody will check the runner at second base. Here's the pitch on the way, and a breaking ball stays high and inside, 1-1. Cody working quickly. The pitch. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. 1 ball and 2 strikes, the designated hitter, Patrick Denny. He's the number 8 hitter. Needs a new pair of pants, too. Here's the pitch. Fastball up around the eyes. 1 and 2. He's got a tear in his pants. He didn't even clean those either. At least wash them. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The break-even pitch, tap foul. Yeah, maybe got home late last night. Didn't have time to throw those in the laundry and wash his britches. Maybe there's these lucky pants. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The pitch. Well, that fastball staying high and inside, 3-2. By the way, I don't know where the bullpen area would be if there is anybody throwing. It must be down the sideline. They got that one over there, I think. So nobody throwing yet. Got him looking. Danny thought that pitch was too low.
Now batting, number 4, third baseman Aiden Ray.
That's a big strikeout. Here is Aiden Ray. Boy, if you're going to go up there, you better go up there swinging the bat. Regional time, you need base hits. It's a 1-0 ball game. Get up there, swing. Be aggressive. The pitch. And that one sails high, just slipping out of the hand that time. Don't see that very often with Cody Swim. Aiden Ray lined out to the shortstop his last time up. Runners with leads at first and second. Here's the pitch on the way and a good fastball. We hadn't lost anything off that so far here today. Cody will check the runner at second. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. He just cannot catch up with that fastball, and I wouldn't be surprised if I saw another one right here. If anything, make sure it's a waste pitch. Nothing he can hit. Swim's next pitch. Got him. Crusaders leave 2 runners on base. We will head to the top of the 5th inning. Scecina 1, Hagerstown 0. This is Regional Baseball and Radio Troy Digital Sports.
Question. When you walk into the boardrooms of the most successful companies here in Indiana, who do you meet? When you're working for a mover and shaker with strong ties to our community, who are they? When you encounter a group of people eager to roll up their sleeves, who are you most likely to work with? Answer. Men and women who played high school sports. Education-based high school sports give us more than athletes we can root for. They give us leaders we can depend on. Taking the initiative, being a good teammate, sacrificing personal glory for the greater good. These are qualities we expect of our leaders, and they're all being cultivated in the high schools right here in Indiana. Question. So where will we find tomorrow's leaders? Answer. High school sports.
This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Well, we head to the top of inning number 5. Welcome back to Park Tudor High School. 1-0. Neither team able to string together a ton of hits today, but both teams have had runners on base and opportunities to put runners across the plate. Ayers back in for another inning of work, and now Hagerstown will have the top of their order, Vincent, Dale, and Swim.
Leading off for Hagerstown, number 6, the center fielder, Grant Vincent.
We put a really big asterisk next to inning number 4 for the Tigers. Vincent reached on an error back in the 3rd. He is 0 for 2, a strikeout in the 1st inning against Ayers. So his 3rd time around, and the pitch is low and inside. Well, your 3rd time around against a pitcher. There's a line drive, base hit over the outstretched arms of the shortstop Phillips. And Vincent with the single. Tigers have a runner on base here in the 5th. I was just about ready to say you get your third time around. Generally, you have a pretty good idea of tendencies and what the opposing pitcher can throw. As Noah Dale will step to the plate. Noah struck out back in the first, walked in the third. Noah will step in again, a left-handed hitter showing bunt. He will try to bunt it and bunts it foul. He falls down at 0-1. Well, Ayers got out of trouble in the fourth. He got out of trouble in the second and the third and got a little bit of help in those 2 innings, in innings number 2 and 3. Tigers just simply left runners on base a little bit too often in this one, but especially the bases loaded situation in the fourth. Ayers really hasn't shown his best move to first base yet. That was just a soft toss. They'll show bunt, pull back, strike. Boy, that hurts as Noah Dale now down at 0-2. And then there's a situation now. Do you try to bunt it again, or you go ahead and swing away? Generally, the idea is to swing away with 2 strikes. Ayers' next pitch is a fastball, high and outside, 1-2. Boy, Tigers have been in a lot of big games this year, but right now this is the biggest that they've faced this season, knowing that Scecina, what a run they had last year. They would be the underdogs by the numbers, but probably feel they have every chance to win this one as anyone. There's a slow tap to the left side, and Ayers fields it and falls down. That's going to be a base hit. And now the Tigers have runners at first and second. Cody Swim steps to the plate. I'm not sure if Ayers probably shouldn't have let his third baseman handle that, or Phillips. I doubt they would have gotten Noah Dale. But he might have had a better chance to make a play than Ayers would have done. Ayers, his whole momentum carrying him away from first base. There was no way he was going to make that play. Cody's 0 for 2 as he steps to the plate. And the pitch by Ayers bouncing away from the catcher, and the runners will advance. Here's a wild pitch. So now runners at second and third. Cody grounded out in the first. He struck out in the third. And now another visit to Ayers. This time the entire infield will come in. Well, this game's so much about opportunities, and maybe this will be the time that the Hagerstown Tigers will take advantage of this opportunity. And you're also looking at taking advantage of the other team's mistakes. Make them pay for making the mistakes that they have made, and the Tigers weren't able to do that earlier. And now a chance to not only maybe get to Ayers right here and maybe force them to go to their bullpen, but you're talking about a 1-0 ball game. And you know that if you give up a couple of runs right here, you haven't exactly stung the baseball today yourself. So even if you get back to the plate, nothing guaranteed for sure, as Cody will step up. Now with runners at second and third, the infield in again like they were in that fourth inning. Ayers gets the sign. Here's the stretch. And the pitch on the way. Big cut just underneath that one. 1 ball and 1 strike. Big opportunity for Cody to help himself right here. The stretch by Ayers. The pitch on the way, breaking ball, is a little bit out of the zone, 2-1. Well, this is where you have to be really disciplined as a hitter. Don't think too much as a hitter, but be aggressive. Look for your pitch. Ayers set to throw on the fastball up high, and he is starting to lose his control here in this fifth inning. And if you're a pitcher, one thing about it, got to keep your emotions under control as well. Ayers' next pitch on the way, fastball, and another good cut. Cody just underneath that one again as he fouls it straight back. That gives you a pretty good idea of where his swing is when that ball goes straight back. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Runners at second and third, no outs. Ayers' next pitch in the dirt, and the bases will be loaded. So now back-to-back innings with the bases loaded, this time, though, with no outs in the 5th inning.
First baseman, number 19, Camden Rhodes.
And that'll bring up Camden Rhodes. Camden, again, doubled back in the 2nd, struck out looking in the 4th. Ayers in trouble now here in the 5th. Right-hander's pitch is on the way, popped him up on the right side, shallow right field, and running in, making the catch is the right fielder Bagley, and a good throw to the plate. Boy, I tell you what, that's a huge play for the Crusaders. Wright was going out, Bagley coming in. Bagley calls him off just at the right time.
Now batting number 17, third baseman.
Here's Dom Anderson. That is a huge out there for Ayers and the Crusaders. They'll keep the infield, well, at least up the middle at medium depth. The first baseman playing up, the third baseman playing up as well. Ayers now set to work against Anderson. The pitch on the way, popped him up, foul. Well, that was played about as well as you could, especially if you're thinking about Camden. If he was trying to go to the right side and you had the infield in, it was just a matter of Bagley getting on his horse and quickly getting to that baseball in shallow right field. Ayers will call time as Dom will step out as well. Dom, very aggressive hitter, right-handed hitter. Saw what he could do in that Hagerstown Union County win at Earlham College in the sectional. Ayers this time a long look at his catcher, Wellborn. And now time called again. A little cat and mouse going on between Anderson and Ayers. Boy, look at this. They're going to take it away. I have never seen that close. As you saw, the first baseman and the shortstop both coming in, and they were not going to let Dom Anderson bunt right there. Now, he is showing bunt. And they will charge in again, and the pitch is way out of the strike zone. Almost looks like it was a pitch out that time. So I'm not sure what exactly was happening there. Unless Scecina was expecting Dom to squeeze bunt the runner down at third. One away here in the top of the 5th inning. Second straight inning, the base has been loaded for the Tigers. The stretch and the pitch on the way, grounded to the third baseman. They'll have a play at the plate. There's one there. Throw to first, double play. And just like that, the Tigers leave the bases loaded for the second straight inning. They got the ground ball they needed. We will head to the bottom of the 5th. Tigers trail it 1-0.
Meet Josh.
Hi, everybody.
Josh is a high school basketball player, solid shooter, great teammate.
Hey, don't forget my tenacious D.
And he's my son.
Oh.
So, what does Josh do to be the best basketball player he can be?
I play tennis.
Studies show that student athletes here in Indiana who play more than one high school sport are more likely to excel. Tennis does more than improve Josh's conditioning. It gives him a fresh competitive outlet, reduces the risk of injury by cross-training, and introduces him to different coaching techniques and new friends.
Don't get me wrong, hoops are my first love. Tennis just gives me a little break.
So when the new season begins, Josh isn't burned out on basketball. He's eager to play, and you can see the difference in his game.
This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Well, the Hagerstown Tigers probably wondering what in the world do we have to do to get a run across. They've now had 2 straight innings in which they've had the bases loaded and failed to score. last half inning, you have the bases loaded, no outs. So here's Phillips. Cody Swim back in for another inning of work, and now Phillips, who singled his last time up, will step to the plate. Take that one for a strike. Boy, no bigger double play for Scecina this year than what they just got. That was a tailor-made, as that's in there for a strike. Tailor-made ball hit right to their third baseman. Easy play for the catcher to throw to first, and Tigers out of the inning. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Phillips hanging in there, fouls it away. We'll stay at 0-2. Phillips 1 for 2. We documented his numbers early. Speedway, one of the other two teams waiting just below us, ready to go. Hit foul. We'll stay at 0-2. Speedway didn't have far to travel either. Tigers were on the bus, I believe, at 8 o'clock this morning to get here to play this contest as that pitch is outside, 1-2. Phillips again, the leadoff hitter for the Crusaders. Steps back in. The breaking pitch hit him in the back. Cody tried to come inside with a curveball, and it ends up sailing too far inside. Phillips on base for the second time. And we mentioned Phillips, good stolen base threat down to first base, and now the home plate umpire over to talk with head coach Brad Cady. And there's always, I'm not sure, sometimes whether a batter tries to get out of the way and doesn't, now you can't lean into the pitch anymore. They stop that, and they always say you got to make a little bit of an effort, but I'm not sure that Phillips could have gotten out of the way on that one as the throw to first. There was no doubt that since I don't like pain, I was getting out of the way. There is no doubt at all. Here's Begley. Walked his last time up. Well, and I didn't want those bruises on my body either. Begley bunts. Third base side. Dom fields. Throws to first, and it's wide, and everybody is safe. Well, Dom did everything he could do as he was charging in, and then once he slipped, hard to make that throw to first. And here's Mac Ayers. And we will have a visit to the mound now by the Tigers and head coach Brad Cady. Every error that is made now from here on out is magnified even more because now you're thinking that you're down to very few outs to work with. You don't want Scecina to get on the board again and really put more pressure on what you're trying to do offensively because you've already had several opportunities here today for the Tigers to score and haven't done so. So now you got to get refocused right here and know this game is a long way from being over with. But you also know at this stage with no outs here in the bottom of the fifth inning, you don't want to give up any more runs. But we have seen the Crusaders do the same thing today. It's not exactly like they've played some perfect baseball. They've had opportunities and have failed to get runs across the plate when the Tigers have made some mistakes. Here's the pitch on the way. This one is hit into left field. That's going to be extra bases. Rounding third is Phillips. He will score. Begley to third. They're going to wave him in. Here's the throw. It gets away in the infield. Another run will score, and Ayers will head to third base. It is now 3-0. Give Ayers the double to score the 2 runs, and then the error on the throw from the outfield will advance Ayers on to third. And that's exactly what the Crusaders needed, and they'll have a courtesy runner down at third. We'll try to pick up his number in a moment. Liam Wright now stepping to the plate.
The batter, number 2, second baseman Liam Wright.
Well, Ayers, he really got every bit of that one. He kind of held back and hit that fastball from Cody Swim in the gap. But again, there's a bunt attempt by Wright. as he offers 0-1. But then again, the throw to the infield gets over the head of the cutoff man, and that gets Ayers down to third. I'm not sure if it would have been good enough to get the runner at the plate, but maybe if it hits the cutoff man, they have a chance. There's another strike. So Liam Wright, who is 0 for 2 and a strikeout victim back in the third, finds himself down on the count and out, no balls and 2 strikes. Pitch on the way. This is lined up the middle, base hit, 4-0. You know, this game of baseball can be very humbling, and it can be very odd at times, too, when things are sailing along and then all of a sudden nothing's going right, and the Tigers are going to have to look back at this if they end up losing this contest. And again, those 2 words, what if, in the 4th and 5th innings. Could have set the tone. You get yourself 3 or 4 runs, and maybe things would be different. Bunt attempted there by Wellborn, as he falls down on the count of no balls and a strike. Matter of fact, at this point is, can the Tigers get to the Crusader bullpen? As we said earlier, they are not strong after their first couple of guys. Good bunt back to the pitcher. Swim will look to second, throws to first, but the sacrifice is successful. And there's one away, so Wellborn does his job.
Now batting, first baseman number 5.
Here is Wyatt Cosmaker. We make it sound perhaps simpler than it really is, but it does come down to not only taking advantage of the other team's mistakes, but also when you get opportunities, you really have to take advantage of them. Breaking pitch, swing and a miss. Good pitch there by Cody. No balls and a strike. Martinelli on deck. He got a base hit back in the 4th inning. 3 runs across now for Scecina here in the 5th. He'll offer again and quickly behind it 0-2. Now, one thing you see hitters a lot of times, you got to pull back on that. You know that pitch is outside. Got to see where the ball is. A lot of hitters offer anyway. He'll pull back this time, and the fastball is outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Runner at second. Cody will check the runner. Here's the pitch on the way. Breaking ball stays inside. He's been pretty good with that pitch here today. And the count is even at 2-2. Tigers have just 1 loss this year. Ranked number 1 in 2A, but on the ropes. Pitch is in the dirt. They fell short of getting to this regional last year. Union County able to advance, and now in the opening game of this Saturday, now trailing at 4-0. Ball hit lightly up the middle. The shortstop charging and throwing. It'll get the runner to third. McMillan makes the nice play. That ball slow coming off that grass. You really have to charge it. And now with 2 outs, here's Martinelli. Martinelli walked back in the 2nd, singled in the 4th inning. Cody set to go to work. Here's the pitch on the way, and it's low and outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Fastball, chop foul. That'll even the count at 1-1. In the 6th inning, it'll be Hicks, Cochran, and Romack for the Tigers. Still 6 outs remaining for Hagerstown here this afternoon. The bunt attempt is bunted foul. Martinelli trying to bunt himself on base, trying to at least maybe see if Dom Anderson have to make a play down at third. Of course, you have to keep an eye on the runner at third as well. The pitch. Boy, not bad, but a little bit inside. Tiger fans right behind home plate get a pretty good look at that one. The stretch and the break-even pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. Got him, but a big inning We will head to the top of inning number 6. Scecina 4, Hagerstown nothing. This is Regional Baseball and Radio Troy Digital Sports.
Honey, isn't it amazing?
What?
The sacrifice, the dedication, the grit. I mean, they really set an example, don't they?
Oh, well, no question. Today's high school athletes are truly special.
Not the athletes.
Well, who?
The officials.
Oh.
Today's student athletes are truly special. But there's something pretty great about the men and women who officiate their games, too. Like the way they're giving back to their communities. Officiating is a terrific way to stay in shape, meet new people, and stay connected to the game you love. But the biggest reason of all? We need more qualified high school officials here in Indiana. And without them, the rest of us would have a whole lot less to cheer about. High school games need officials. High school sports need you.
Great call, Ralph.
Yeah.
Interested in becoming a licensed high school official? Go to highschoolofficials.com to learn more and begin the application process.
Welcome back again to Park Tudor High School Regional Baseball, as now the Tigers down in this one 4-0 as we head to the top of inning number 6. We mentioned it'll be Hicks, Cochran, and Romack. Ayers is back out for another inning of work, and I'm sure he's getting close to his pitch count allotment for the day.
Batting the right fielder, number 5, Mason Hicks.
Mason singled in the 4th inning. So Mason will step up for the 3rd time here this afternoon. Ayers set to throw, and the pitch is a swing and a miss, and good fastball. Well, you keep an eye on pitchers now when you talk about velocity. If their fastball is still pretty good in the 6th inning, they have a tendency to continue to throw really hard, and I say that because they start throwing a little bit more off of momentum, knowing that they now have a 4-run lead. There's a strike. That not only helps, but pitchers want to complete games. They want to go out there and pick up a solid win, and Ayers has a chance to do that now. And that fastball he threw a little bit ago looked pretty strong. Another breaking pitch just outside. And for the Tigers, they're going to have to be selective here. They got to get guys on base. Can't stand and watch too many pitches. Be aggressive at the plate. See the baseball. Here's the pitch. Hit well. Fly ball left field. Coming on and making the catch will be Lynn. 1 away. Well, that is the one thing you want. And Cody, I should say, for Mason, did the right thing. Want to make contact. Here's Cochran.
Catcher number 2, Clay Cochran.
If you were to look back at maybe the Centerville game, the Tigers won that game 3-1. Didn't maybe hit as well as they had hoped, as this one is going to be hit to Hopper, and the first baseman let it play him. That'll be an error. Cosmaker, instead of getting his glove around on it, let that one bounce a little bit too high on that hop, and so the error. Second error of the ball game now for Scecina. Here is Romack. We go back to what we were talking about with the Tigers maybe not hitting as well against Centerville, though they faced a good pitcher. Maybe some concern a little bit about hitting coming into this one. Good cut there by Romack as he hits that one to the screen. He is 0 for 2 today. If you're Scecina, you're hoping that error right there won't open the floodgates. That one in the dirt. Boy, sometimes you just look for an opportunity, and we can beat that like a dead horse as far as what the Tigers have had here today in opportunities. But, boy, get another one right here. Here's the pitch inside. Ayers, though throwing hard, still struggling at times to get that ball around the plate. So the Tigers have had base runners in every inning except for the first. Here's the pitch on the way. Fastball up high. As I said a little bit ago in previous innings, the one thing you'd like to do is maybe get to their bullpen. Is now the catcher Wellborn out to talk with Ayers. Both teams throwing their aces in this one, or at least from a statistical standpoint, both pitchers are their ace. You certainly can't think about later tonight and trying to get to that championship game, and certainly unless you get through this one. And that's why Ayers stays out there. The stretch and the pitch, and low and outside, ball 4, runners at first and second. Here's McMillan.
Batting for Hagerstown, shortstop number 3, Brady.
The one thing
McMillan.
that it does, too, is you're really not in a situation to think about bunting right here, and you're down 4-0. You need runs. So McMillan will take that pitch high and inside. And the other thing about it is, from a hitting standpoint here, do you try to make Ayers throw more pitches? As we said, to try to get him out of the ball game. Is that pitch in there for strike 1-1? And you also have to make a decision between that and you got to be aggressive at the plate and try to get some base hits. The stretch again by Ayers, check of the runner at second, and the pitch on the way is a breaking ball, and that gets away from the catcher, but not far enough for anyone to advance. Boy, and Brady way out in front of that breaking pitch. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 4-0 Scecina. The stretch. And the pitch by Ayers, fastball, late swing by McMillan. He'll stay alive at 1-2. That's what you like to see a hitter do, too. Not stand there and watch a close pitch. If it's around the plate, at least try to make contact, stay alive. Ayers again will come set at the belt. Here's the late kick and the pitch. Another breaking ball, ground ball to the shortstop. They will get 1 at second. That's all they'll get there. But now runners at first and third. 2 away.
The batter, number 6, center fielder Grant Vinson.
Here's the top of the order, and Grant Vinson. If you are the Crusaders right now, you don't mind if perhaps you're trading a couple of outs here or there for maybe one run or so, but you're still a 4-0 lead. But Ayers set to throw, and the pitch is low for a ball. But you know now it's at the top of the order. You got to be really careful. Vinson singled his last time up. He's been on base twice. He's been in scoring position twice. And the pitch on the way is a fastball up high. If you're on the side of Scecina, you're just saying to Ayers, throw strikes. Let's get outs here and get to that 7th inning. Maybe pick up another run or 2 in the bottom of the 6th inning. There's a good pitch. Sometimes pitchers try to do a little bit too much, and we talked about the emotions of pitching sometimes when things aren't going well. Here's the delivery on the way. Big cut and a miss. That's pretty good movement on that fastball. Grant will step back in, leadoff hitter here for the Tigers. Runners at first and third. 2 away here in the top of the 6th inning. The stretch and the pitch on the way got him. Tigers leave 2 more runners on base here in the 6th. Your score, Scecina 4, Hagerstown 0. This is Regional Baseball and Radio Troy Digital Sports.
Question. When you walk into the boardrooms of the most successful companies here in Indiana, who do you meet? When you're working for a mover and shaker with strong ties to our community, who are they? When you encounter a group of people eager to roll up their sleeves, who are you most likely to work with? Answer. Men and women who played high school sports. Education-based high school sports give us more than athletes we can root for. They give us leaders we can depend on. Taking the initiative, being a good teammate, sacrificing personal glory for the greater good. These are qualities we expect of our leaders, and they're all being cultivated in the high schools right here in Indiana. Question. So where will we find tomorrow's leaders? Answer: high school sports.
This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Back here at Park Tudor High School, I want to thank all the people at Park Tudor for hosting us here today. It's a big event when you bring in a lot of folks to see some high school baseball, and Patrick Denny will lead things off. 4 very good baseball teams here this afternoon. A lot of fans able to come out and see these 2 teams play. As the first pitch, he goes around. 0-1 now to Patrick Denny. Struck out his last time up. Breaking pitch in the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike. One thing I do know that whoever the head coach is at Park Tudor is a Cardinals fan. He's all kinds of neat memorabilia in here. He and I will have to get together and talk about those Cardinals. 2-1. I saw Lloyd Michael, the former athletic director, baseball coach. He's talking about our Cardinals too, as that one's fouled off. We were in the nice Porta-Johny out there. What did you guys call it? That was like a Taj Mahal of Porta-Johns. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch on the way. Got him. That's the best Porta-John I've ever seen.
The batter, number 4.
I almost felt bad going to the bathroom in there. Here is Ray. Ray is 0 for 2 as Cody Swim back to throw again. That's fouled off the foot of Ray. No balls and a strike. Clay Cochran out to talk with Cody just for a moment there. And, you know, one thing we talk about Cochran and the catcher that he is, I mean, he's a senior. He's been doing this a long time, a lot of success with this baseball program, but still keeps things lighthearted, didn't get too worked up over things. And we still haven't gotten him a date yet, which is really hard to believe. Here's the pitch, swing and a miss, got him. Well, Cody's has plenty of pop on his fastball here late in the ball game.
The batter, number 12, Eli Phillips.
3 straight strikeouts now for Cody. And here's Eli Phillips. Phillips got things going in the 5th inning. He was hit by a pitch, and that's when things started rolling for Scecina as that pitch is inside, 1-0. Scored 3 runs in the 5th. That one is hit to right field, and that'll fall in for a base hit. Well, Phillips going the other way. So with 2 outs, Crusaders get a runner on base. Here is Begley.
Right fielder, number 19, Owen Begley.
Begley 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. That happened in the 3-run 5th inning. Cody will come set. Here's the pitch. Runner takes off, and that's foul tipped at the plate. So no balls and a strike. Good cut there by Begley. Scecina trying to pick up their 17th win of the year. Mentioned the Tigers coming in at 26-1. This, again, would only be their 2nd loss, but be the biggest loss of the year. Ranked number 1 coming in as that fastball is inside. Count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Begley struck out looking back in the 1st, walked in the 3rd, and then reached on an error and scored in that 3-run 5th inning. Cody will come set at the belt, checks the runner in the pitch. Throw down to second, not even close. So Begley swings at the pitch. Didn't matter as Phillips is thrown out trying to steal. We will head to the top of the 7th inning. Tigers down to their final 3 outs. This is regional baseball and Radio Troy Digital Sports.
Question. When you walk into the boardrooms of the most successful companies here in Indiana, who do you meet? Answer. Men and women who played high school sports. Education-based high school sports give us more than athletes we can root for. They give us leaders we can depend on. Question. So where will we find tomorrow's leaders? Answer. High school sports.
This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
What do basketball, choir, drama club, and marching band all have in common? They're all high school activities that offer learning opportunities not necessarily found in the classroom. They take up just a fraction of a typical Indiana high school's budget, and they go a long way to giving young people the tools they need to thrive. High school activities, they're more than extracurricular. They're extra important, too. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Well, the Tigers down now to their final 3 outs as we move to the top of the 7th inning. For the Tigers, it'll be Noah Dale, Cody Swim, and Camden Rhodes. And we are now looking at the right-hander Ayers back in for the 7th inning. He's probably, again, very close to that pitch count. I think we were told, what he said, 109 is what it was at one point. So 109. Well, the Tigers, as we said, will look back to the 4th and 5th innings. Runners in scoring position in the 2nd, 3rd, and 6th innings, and failed to score.
Leading off for Hagerstown, number 24, left fielder Noah Dale.
So here is Noah Dale to lead things off. We talk about everything now being accentuated to the point where you got to get guys on. You kind of feel the pressure a little bit more in this situation where you're down by 4. They still have their best pitcher on the mound who at times you've been able to get on base but unable to score. So Ayers set to throw once again, and a breaking pitch just a little bit outside, 1-0. Ayers gets the sign, the leg kick, here's the pitch. Comes back with a fastball. And our count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. The pitch on the way, that one is a number, but caught by the pitcher Ayers. That helps being about 6'5", being able to reach out and grab that one. There's one away. Here's Cody Swim.
Cody Swim.
So now the Tigers down to their final 2 outs. Cody walked his last time up. Ayers' pitch is a breaking ball called strike. Here's the pitch on the way. Another breaking ball just missing. And the count is even at 1-1. Speedway South Vermilion coming up in the next one. Here is the pitch on the way by Ayers. Fastball is low, 2 balls and a strike. Boy, one thing about tournament play, so many good teams in a regional like this. You cannot coast in any one game. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Everybody's really good at this point. Here's the break-even pitch on the way, got him swinging. And now the Tigers down to their final out of this season. Camden Rhodes. We will finish it off pretty quick when we're done. We'll get out of here if the Tigers are unable to rally for a win here this afternoon as Rhodes will step in 1 for 3, doubled back in the second inning. Phillips throw to first, that'll do it. So the Tiger season will come to an end here this afternoon. Your final score, Indianapolis Scecina shuts out Hagerstown 4-0. The Tigers, ranked number 1 in 2A, will see their season come to an end at 26-2 on the season. And there you see the Tigers coming out to congratulate Scecina on their big win here today. Your final score, Scecina 4, Hagerstown 0. Thanks for being with us. This has been Regional Baseball and Radio Troy Digital Sports.
All the best to